Good evening, Jace.
Good evening, Sean. How are we doing tonight?
Most excellent. And that will conclude my hosting duties for this evening.
And Sean will now disappear behind the camera.
Hey folks, I gotta state this out here. So Jace is gonna run the whole show tonight, and then you guys are going to rate his performance at the end of the show. Not that I'm going anywhere, but I want to get Jace like ingrained and involved as much as possible. He's gonna run the show tonight. You guys are gonna rate the performance, and we have a good show, exciting show as always, and we got lots of stuff
Oh, yeah.
planned. So, but Jace is in charge. It's the parents are going to bed, and the kids have taken over.
Okay, one lot. I mean, I disappeared to Disney for 2 weeks, and this is what I get when I come back.
Yeah, you got to make
More
up for
work,
lost work.
more work.
Yeah,
Smash the thumbs down button.
this is
Yeah,
not off to a good start.
yeah. Nope, nope. But welcome in everybody. As Sean said, we have a very good show for you tonight. But first thing we're going to start off with is some good old social media plugs,
All right.
because we want all of you to know where to look for us. So as you can see, you're watching us on YouTube. Please hit that thumbs up. It helps out a lot. Also, if you see any of our posts on any of these other places, such as Facebook at Star Wars Legion Friday Night Fights, Sean's Patreon at the Terrain Studio, and then Twitter and Instagram at Legion_FNF. Also give those a thumbs up and a like, because that helps other people know it's good and that they should come watch it, and helps us grow the community.
Yeah, like Jay says, if you guys see the video post later, like tomorrow when you're scrolling the Facebook page and you've already watched it and it's worthy of a thumbs up, if you hit that, it's nice, because if we have a video up there that only has one thumbs up after like a couple days and somebody finds it, they might not think it's good. So I'm not saying you have to, but we do appreciate that for sure. So yeah,
Oh,
I have the screens too, Jace. Do you want me to use those? I'll just cover off those because I didn't queue you up with those screens, but you want me to cover off this part here?
oh yeah,
I
for
can
sure.
I can do this part because Jace doesn't have access to clicking these buttons, but I'll do this one. So if you guys didn't see, and Jace is one of the reasons he's running the show is because he's going to talk about his great trip. He went to the happiest place on earth. Yep, the gas station, and then after
Yeah.
that, he went to Disney World. So he will be talking all about that. So that is the title for tonight's show. We wanted to remind you that Friday Night Fights is happening this Friday. Jace will be back. Not sure about Anthony yet or who's up, but I will be here and Jace will be here. And so 2 out of 3 or 2 ain't bad. 2 makes a show. And so we'll have one for you. And then the following week, we'll have 2 Jaces and 1 Sean and 1 Anthony or 1 whoever. But you can't go wrong with 2 Jaces. That's for sure. And then lastly, maybe the most exciting part of the evening, even though it's smaller, it's Pod 6 and Round 6 and the final round of Season 1. So if you didn't get in or you're getting ready for Season 2, we got that covered off for you. So that's all the things that we got going on there. So all right, Jace, I'm done on there. You want to run down the show maybe for folks? That'd be good.
Yeah, for sure. So, as Sean said, we're going to talk some Legion. We're going to talk my big trip to Disney. We're going to talk about some cool AMG spoilers that came out last week, and today, I think, was when the last one came out.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we're going to talk about the final league rounds, and then as always, we're going to end it with an awesome roundtable where you can come tell us how wrong we are on everything.
There is that option. So yes.
Yeah, exactly. But before we do, we got to jump into the Patreon perks.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, we've got some lovely card sleeves here that have arrived. And if you would like to get some of these amazingly beautiful card sleeves that Sean has been hoarding in his studio, just support on Patreon. That's it. That's all you got to do. Go support. You'll get some of those sent right off to you. We don't want to be running a store, so we want it to be you donate, we'll give you some stuff. And if you keep donating, more stuff will keep coming. There will be more perks coming down the line. So, yeah, there is that. And I believe Sean also has a token update coming on.
I do, yeah. So I spoke maybe last week, maybe the week before, just about the tokens needing a really small retweak. So we haven't lost track of this. We're still planning to do these. Again, these are going to go onto the Patreon. We're going to, all the things you get from Patreon, you'll get, and then we'll have the added things on occasion because first and foremost, the Terrain Studio Patreon, if you guys didn't know, runs the whole thing. So all of this equipment and all the things that you guys support, it goes through that. And so really what we're doing is trying to make production quality, videos and tutorials and all those things. So we understand that is our first and foremost incentive here to make content. But on the backside, we're building terrain and all those other things that are happening. So through that, one of the bonuses that we're kind of able to do and have found is that as we get more supporters, we are trying to give them more and more things. And so one of the things that we're trying to do is our Friday Night Fights tokens. So I did a little retweak on here. I had to just remove some of the smallest words, and I increased the size of the word activation. So really, if you didn't have a side-by-side, you probably didn't pick up on most of that. But just so you know, that is the intended design. They are going to print me a sample set, send it to me. I'm going to show you. And then once we have that in hand, we would never ask you to sign up and get anything that you didn't really know what it looked like. And so that's why we show you the card sleeves. That's why we're going to show you the tokens. And if you're able to support through the Patreon, this will be a way to do that. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, and I did ask said patron if I could use the image, but I had a console chat last night. So if you were on the top tier of the Patreon, one of the things that I do with patrons that are there is I just do consults with them. So they might have a project idea, they want to spitball something, they want to talk about an upcoming or a brainchild that they have, or they're looking for techniques or advice on materials or products. Not to say that I wouldn't share this knowledge with folks, but to take dedicated sit down time and schedule it with people. I do that through the Patreon perk. Folks can bank hours if you don't want to use them all at once, but it's another added bonus that you get. So not only do you get the content that's on there, like in the terms of the video tutorials, potentially you get some of the perks depending on what level you're on, and you can have some consult time. So we're really trying to bundle that in for what we deem as a fairly reasonable and I think equitable price for most folks. And you can stay on tiers as long as you want and leave and come and go. The support is fantastic. So call me Captain. I can't right now because I'm doing other button pushing, but if you don't have it by the end of the show, I will get it for you. So don't despair, but somebody can probably help you out there as well. So, all right, Jace, that's it for me. Do you want to hit some of those sponsors, or is that where you want to go next?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay.
We got some sponsors to hit, of course.
Am I hitting them, or are you hitting them?
I can hit them. And there's just a very loud music going on.
Oh.
There we go. All right. There, now people can hear me. Cool. As you can see, one of our sponsors is the amazing Deep Cut Studios with their gaming mats. You will see those every Friday Night Fights. We love them. They are amazing. Every once in a while, too, they also give a discount code. So make sure if you're looking for any mats, you go to check them out. And we've also got Legion Terrain. You've probably seen them a whole bunch on Friday Night Fights, too. They do wonderful 3D printed terrain. You can buy from them pre-painted or just straight off the printer if you would like to paint it yourself for a very well and good price. And, of course, our very own Michael at tellmetheodds.net for all of your Legion statistical needs, just so you can know how many crits Sean is rolling. That is average.
Yeah, that's a fairly fair assessment sometimes. So I did want to point out as well, because we talked about the Patreon, I want to make sure that we acknowledge all our folks. So we have a series of donators here, and I'll talk a little bit about what they've helped to donate to, as well as all the patrons on the far side here. So the number is growing, and it's awesome. I really do appreciate those folks. Lately, I've been doing a lot of conversing on there. So if you got a question and you're a patron and you want to ask something, do that for sure. I had some people share, hey, thanks, I got the card sleeves, and a few people were like, had some questions and things like that. So want to shout out to Thomas Ryan, the newest of the patrons, so joined since the last show. That's fantastic. I appreciate that. Very, very much. And just so you guys know, there is multiple levels on there. There's a 2, 5, and 15. You guys can go check that at any one time. If you didn't know what we're working towards a brand new PTZ camera, a big camera that's really going to put, we think, the Friday Night Fights viewership on a slightly different level. We've been working really hard in the last 2 years to give really, really good quality videos and improve our ability to bring Legion action to you. So we do want to thank those folks. We are 20% of the way. It's a hefty goal, but 20% is 20% further than we were when we started. And so we'll do that slow crawl, but we do appreciate that. You guys can help us out at the Terrain Studio 2019. Any little, sorry, at gmail.com. Any little bit helps. It does creep us towards the top. So whatever you can you donate if you're so inclined to do that. We do appreciate that. But honestly, your viewership each and every week is, in fact, a donation to our efforts. So we do greatly appreciate that, as well as those thumbs up. So thank you very, very much. All right, Jace, I think we're going to hit your trip here, I think. Is that what we're going to do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So if you haven't heard it mentioned about 3 times already, I just got back from a trip to Disney World with the wife. As you can see, we came back with matching sweaters, so that was wonderful.
You were officially married at this point. You matching.
Yeah. It was our delayed honeymoon, so I guess you can say we are now officially married. Just after our first anniversary. So there you go.
Andrew's hoping for a slideshow. No, because Jace didn't tell you, but I did request photos from him yesterday.
I was very slow at getting photos. Yes.
But instead he, in typical show fashion, we got them, 5 minutes before.
Hey, I give you half an hour.
But we do have some photos. So I'm going to walk them onto the screen here, and Jace is going to walk you through. Anthony's asking, I believe, I don't want to answer for Jace, but I believe this is his first trip maybe there, at least with wife. This
is actually my third. This is my first time with my wife, but this would be my third. This would be my third time going.
Fair enough. All as a child and once as a married child. So there's that.
Yes, and this would have been her second time going.
Oh, nice. There you go. Look at that.
So
I have not gone, so I'm gonna live vicariously through the photos here. So.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, now I'm probably too tall for most of the rides, so I've missed my window of getting in there. So, all right. Here's the first one.
Yeah. So this was in Galaxy's Edge. We were just walking around. We were doing some shopping. We had just finished the Smugglers Run Ride, and Ray and Chewie just walked right out past us. So we were like, "Oh, that's cool." So why pay to meet Disney princesses? We can just meet some walking carpets.
Yeah, fair enough. I thought this was a picture of the matching sweaters. I was like, "Whoa, you've dedicated to the sweaters." So,
oh yeah, yeah. If you can't tell, that's us. I'm that tall.
Yes. Was it super warm when you were there, Jace?
It was very warm. So the coldest day was 31 degrees, feels like 38 with 65% humidity.
Wow.
It was, yeah. And that was the coldest day.
Straight dedication, this guy here.
Oh, yeah. It was, I don't know how he's living in that suit. I was in shorts and a t-shirt all day, and I was unhappy about it.
Yeah, no, that looks like it would not be pleasant. All right, what happened here?
Yeah. All right, so this is inside the new Rise of the Resistance ride. It's pretty cool. They put you in almost like a bumper car, and they drive you around the set, and you see all of this is moving when it's happening too. It's and you're looking out a viewport, and you're wearing 3D glasses, so everything's there. Probably my third favorite ride in all of Disney was this new one. It was definitely worth the 50-minute wait to get on it, and I now understand why there was such a wait time.
Nice. Stan definitely talking Celsius for, as he points out, for the Americans.
Yes, definitely Celsius. This is again in the same ride, just more viewports. But as you can see, just all the effects coming of it. This is this. They're moving you around too, so trying to get these pictures was kind of difficult because we're in a car moving around.
Nice.
The whole thing. So
nice.
There's a couple more from inside the ride. Yep, this is in line. They bring you inside and they're like, "You're rebels and you're captured," and you're just chilling. There's all the guys are dressed as Imperial officers and stormtroopers and just standing around yelling at you. It's kind of fun.
Nice. Yeah, maybe they need some set work done there. So.
Exactly. Yep. This is still more from the ride. Yep. There was a lot of these from the ride just because the special effects and the and just everything about it was really good. Again, this is in the line for the ride. You walk past and they've probably got about 60 stormtrooper statues just standing there in front of a viewport too.
These are statues.
Yeah. Yes, those are all statues. Yeah.
Cool.
I had to walk up to them to check. Because they were very still, and I was like, "These can't be real people."
Nice, that's cool. I like this shot a lot. Yeah, that looks.
Yeah, that was. They put you in a Resistance transport and then open the door and bring you like you enter it from outside. You go into transport, watch a little video, and then the door opens again, and you walk out, and that's the first thing you see was the line of stormtroopers there.
Very
So
cool.
super cool. Yep, this is more part of it when you're running through. You run up. You're in like the little bridge section and just the little indents on all the Star Destroyers. You got Kylo, General Hux up at front.
Are these statues too, or are these like live action folks, or is this digital?
Those are animatronics. So
Okay,
they are statues, but they move around and they've got voices going on and everything.
cool. And what's the level of like the anima? Like, so I've seen various levels of animatronics. So what would you like? How realistic are these? Like, can does it have like fluidity to it? Are they pretty herky jerky?
They're pretty fluid.
Yeah.
I'd give it like a 7,
Okay.
7.5 out of 10 maybe. Like they're
Right.
pretty fluid, but I mean their movements aren't a lot. But I mean like when you first go in, they're both facing the viewport, and as you can see, I caught this picture. So he's turning around. He does like a full turn around and takes a step towards you.
Cool.
There's later in the ride where he comes out and he like starts a lightsaber right in front of you.
Oh, nice.
So throughout Galaxy's Edge, they just had a bunch of these storage units just sitting around, and I don't know if this was like actual like gear props or stuff, but you just walk around. There's just various helmets from all the shows, the prequels, sequels, original trilogy. You see various weapons and crates just walking around too. I think there might be a couple more pictures of these
I think
crates later on.
I think I only brought one of those in, but I think I made the other one.
Okay.
Just because I didn't know if it was done. I just quickly grabbed in, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So no ability to crack into these. You didn't bring back like any like
No, I was very tempted, but I was like, nope.
Like I like the short trooper mask.
Me too. That
really cool.
that was the reason I took the picture. I was like, that short trooper mask looks good.
Yeah, that's really sharp. So, good ideas. I like seeing some of this stuff because good ideas for props for the prop wall kind of thing, and just making various.
Oh
things.
yeah.
Like honestly, most of these things you can make all of this out of foam, and then just paint it up to look cool. So you'll have to come over. Well, I mean, you'll have to come over. It's not like you don't come here like every week. You'll have to come over and see the update, I should say, on the wall progress. So, all right, you found somebody at Disney World here to take a photo.
Yeah,
with
You? Yeah,
gotcha.
exactly. It was very tough to convince her. Yeah. But nope, that is me and my wife in front of the to scale Millennium Falcon right down there.
Cool.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like one of the first things you see when you enter in the one side of Galaxy's Edge.
Yep. That is really, really sharp.
Yeah. There's some droids there too. That droid's on a little timer, and every once in a while it gives out like some loud beep boops and like wiggles around, kind of like you see R2 do a little bit.
Yep.
So it did it right after we took this picture, which was hilarious because it scared her so bad.
Nice. Yeah, and you can see some cool props in the back there. That's cool. I'll be stealing some of those ideas, little crates and barrels and all that cool stuff.
Yeah,
so.
and they just had that scattered throughout the park, which was amazing.
Yeah, that's neat. Kind of immersive sort of environment. So there's Jace for real scale inside something.
Yeah, you bet. That's inside the Smugglers Run Ride. So they put you inside the Millennium Falcon. So like you're inside a building, but the entire thing looks like you're inside the Millennium Falcon. So that's walking right into the cockpit.
Nice.
Yeah, it was that was the first ride we went on there, which was I very much enjoyed it. It was fun watching us try to pilot it, and I loved it too when you go in and it's like jump to light speed and you get to like pull the lever down and the Millennium Falcon jumps, and it was some good immersion on that one.
Nice. So overall, trip was good. You went for how many days did you guys go for?
Yeah, so we left on the 3rd and we came back on the 10th. So we were gone for 8 days.
Yeah, that's
there
fun.
was one more thing that I picked up from Galaxy's Edge.
Okay, what do you got? Oh, yes. I know what this is.
So I
said I know what this is.
What is it?
I seen the box. I seen the box. I only know because Joe has like 15 of these things. Yeah.
So which
one is it?
I did get myself a Legacy Saber there because I'm like, when else am I going to be down there to get it? So I did get myself a good.
Oh, nice.
Good Count Dooku Saber. Yeah.
Very nice. Cool. Make some sounds.
It does. Yep, it does. When you put the blade in it.
And then
So I did.
was getting the blade back difficult for.
I did purchase the blade with it too,
Yeah.
so that I can have a blade with it.
Yeah. This is now turned into a show and tell show here, so you guys
exactly.
are welcome. You guys are welcome.
We are now in kindergarten, right? Show and tell, everybody.
Oh no, this is like
So,
adulthood right here.
Yeah, and
Very
it does.
nice.
It makes sounds. Makes sounds when you hit it. Makes sounds when you swing it.
Most excellent. Yeah, that's cool. So how was getting that back with like shipping it back and stuff?
The blade was a pain.
Does it come in
Mostly
like
because
I assume it comes in a box. It doesn't come just like that. But was it like something you could
Yeah.
you had to like check as like check luggage, or did you try to carry it with you on the plane, or what?
So I was thinking of maybe trying to carry it with me on the plane, but I did not. I actually ended up shipping it back here because it's 36 inches long, and we did not bring a suitcase with a 36-inch long diagonal.
Right.
So I just shipped it back and then just put the actual saber in my checked luggage.
Right. Did you? I think maybe Joe was telling me. Do a lot of those stores and such within the where you are, Galaxy's Edge and stuff, have like sort of like shipping options like right in the shops and the stores, or did you have to like go and do that make that arrangement outside of that?
I went and made it outside of it. Some of them might have it. I know that they have it to certain hotels. Like they'll ship it to your hotel for you, so you don't have to walk around the park with it.
Right. That's cool.
But yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Call me Cap. I couldn't afford that, but I'm still using $3 headphones. I do use other headphones most of the time, but they don't connect to my PC. So
hey, I mean, support the show. I got a set of headphones right here. When Jace is over here, he can cast from here, but
exactly,
the cord's not long enough to reach to his house, so
exactly,
he's got to use those $3 headphones. So we got a way to help us out. So if you want Jace to not have $3 headphones and upgrade to $6 headphones, there's a way to help us out. So
exactly,
yeah, no, that's cool. But overall, you had a good trip. Emily had a good time.
Amazing trip.
Yeah, she enjoyed it, and that's good.
Oh yeah,
that's good.
She loved it.
As soon as I think our next big excursion, I think we're doing a West Edmonton Mall here because I accidentally showed Zuri the water park there, and I've listened to that for the last 7 days to going to the West Edmonton Mall. And apparently this morning when I asked her who's coming, guess who she said? Anthony. So Anthony's really coming to the West Edmonton. No. I was going to say I wasn't finished though. And then I was like, who else is coming? And then she said, Jace is coming. So
there we go.
She didn't decipher whether it's Big Jace or Little Jace, but usually he's Jake. So I think you snuck in. I think you snuck in as.
You know what that means?
Second.
It means you have to bring both Jaces.
That's fantastic. Well, the family pass is 2 adults and 2 children, so it won't be wasted. I can get one for you and Zuri, so we're fine. Yeah,
exactly.
Good. Yeah,
we're set.
All good. Excellent. So. Yeah, there's super nice. Is there an option to downgrade? Give me the sweet white noise.
To downgrade the $3 headphones to $1 headphones.
Yeah, there's that too. So yeah, we have all kinds of options. Call me Captain. I know you're new here and new to our Discord, but we aim to please. So yeah. So Stryker said he's actually going in December. That's really cool. So I think we'll get there.
Awesome.
I think we're just gonna wait till Zuri can kind of take it all in and maybe get on some of the rides and such. So
me and him were talking. We're like 8 years old or older. We're like, we would never take kids that are younger than 8 years old. We saw so many parents with like 2-month-old babies there, and we're like, all right.
Yeah, I think just the stamina and like the longevity of the visit, right? Like you don't want to overexert them, but you're there to take it in. So there's that fine balance between like you got to keep up. And I think if I was there, I would be the largest kid of all in my family. So so I want to make sure that she can fully enjoy that. So and Deidre will come along and just hold all the things that we're collecting and purchasing. So because she's just less interested in that. But we'll see. Okay. So we have a couple things to get into. That's a 30-minute preamble. We got 17 folks in here. So where are we headed next, Jace? Where are we on the docket here?
So I think we're heading into the launch for round 6 of the Friday Night Fights League.
Okay, that's where we'll head. We hit all those sponsors. Boom, boom, boom. Trip highlights. All right, so as Jace pointed out, we were doing the league launch today. We said we were going to. Look at that, sticking to the dates.
Mm-hmm.
So round 6. So if people are not aware, round 6 is the final of the rounds. And then after this is done, the top 4 in the league round, and if people are not able to participate or whatever, first right refusal will move down. The 4 will play just a real quick playoff, and just crown an artificial, winner of the first league round or first league season, and then we're going to roll it again. So we'll run this round. It's roughly 13th of September. Approximately, exactly. So this one will likely run till about mid-October. We'll do a really quick sort of playoff and finalize. We'll finish at the end of October, and then we'll run the next season starting right in November, so we can get a couple league rounds done before the end of the year, and then roll that into the spring. So look for that. But before we get in there, Jace, maybe let's remind folks of what's banned this round. What can't you use?
Yeah, so we got some heavies banned this round, so I'm actually surprised Sean's still playing.
Yeah, still playing.
But it looks like air speeders have been banned, which is a logical choice over the land speeder for some rebels. ATSTs are being banned for Empire, which makes sense. I've seen lots of double ATSTs wreaking havoc on these tables during some of the streams. Saber tank for clones. That's a good one. No more of those standby sharing to those tanks and those super big anti-tank shots. And of course, Sean's favorite, the AAT. And I feel like everyone did this just to spite him.
I think that it was pretty unanimous in there. Me and Stan, we were pressing for the snail ban, secret tech, but alas, is the AAT. So jokes on
just watch.
Sean's
going to run double. Sean's going to run double snails now this round.
No telling. So, yeah, and so we'll have a look. Maybe we'll review the league standings. So this will show where we are at this moment in time. So this is showing 5, but that's after 5 rounds. So there's the standings there. Jace, you can kind of recap some of that. There was a bit of movement. Yeah. I'd say probably from like the 13, 17-ish point up. So a bit of jockeying there. A lot of the folks that were kind of near the bottom have sort of since bowed out or played limited rounds. So it's not like they're not doing well, but they may have played limited rounds. Like I know 48th Ronin is back in this round. Pally's back in this round. So I fully suspect their points to be moving up, but we wanted, in fairness, just to keep everybody's points in the league tally. So,
yeah, definitely, yep. As you can see, Sean's already rigged the league. He's sitting in first so far.
I've been working just as hard as the next person. I've been working hard, playing all my games, and just I've been having.
We're rigging the dice roller.
that as well.
Yeah,
that
there we go. Yeah, but yeah. We got a bunch in the 30s, Debaticus Dan and the Calico Kid, and then a bunch coming up behind in the high 20s with Emmanuel, Anthony, Tyler's there, JD Nielsen's there, Biggin's there, Kokazula from Romania. Is it Romania? I think he's from Romania.
Yeah, I think Romania. I think you might be correct on that.
Catching on up. Canadian Bear, Bobster, Sean Death. Even Michael's all the way up there. Lots of people coming on up there. So
Michael was busy at the bow out this round, but he was having a lot of success. So doing super well. And hey, I was just about to point that out. Thanks, Andrew. Beat me to that. Striker saying he's on the board, and then like we don't want to be remiss to say like Striker, Stan, Canadian Bear. A lot of people have been in there hosting games, like just streaming games for people to take all in, which has been really fantastic. So we do greatly appreciate those contributions as well. So I've been having a ton of fun. Like I said, I've been really working hard to play all my games, and part of our league is really rewarding folks for playing all their games as well. So like I can say, I know for a fact Stan has got I think all his games in. I don't think I'm mixing that up. I think he's played a ton of games. OS Dad's been playing a bunch of games. Canadian Bear, JD bowed out a round, came back in, did really well. I want to point out Justice, first league round, last round, 13 points this one, so did very well for the first league round that he played. So
crushing it.
Yeah, doing really, really well. So sorry Jake, if I missed anything on there, because I think I ran through that. Let me look. I have the sheet in front of me. I went through this when I got home. Where is Mr. Witty 82? Because I'll see if I had you. I did have you written down at 16, and if I missed you, my bad. So where are you at here, Mr. Witty? Let's make sure we put your
He's
points up.
the third
18.
down on
Gotcha.
the middle column.
Okay, cool. So you have 24 points. I do have the 6 written down here. So my bad if I missed you on that. I will bump you up. You are in the category of 24. So you are definitely in the jockeying for the top, and I'll explain why in a second. So we really condensed down. We had a limited number of players, like fewer than we've had in any round, but I think that's anticipated. It's September. It's busy. Invader League's also starting, so people probably splitting some time. So support either one. It doesn't bother us any. But of course, we do like you, and we do like you in our round or league, and you can come back anytime, which is great. So even if people get eliminated over there, you can come back over and play. We can jump in and out per league round. So we are only running 3 pods, but they are a little bit maybe oversized versus what some of them have been. So want to hit pod 3 first, Jace?
You bet. Let's start at the bottom.
Yeah, and my bad on that, Jake. That was unintentional. So so there you go. Yeah, rip that off, Jace. What do we got?
Yeah, so pod number 3, we're looking at Pally coming back to make his return. We've also got Emmanuel coming down here, Debaticus, and 48th Ronin, who is also making his return. So a lot of these guys are coming back for their big finale.
Yep. I've had Debaticus in my round twice so far. Sorry, 3 times. We've played 3 times, and so he was in our pod. He didn't squeak out in the top half, so I don't have him in this league round, but he is doing exceptionally well in the league. So he'll be a tough opponent for these guys here. So Jace, you missed the best part.
Yep.
It's pronouncing the league pod name, the room name. So
well, yeah, I was going to get there. I was trying to read it. Wobani?
Wobani. I think it's
Wobani.
that. So we'll go with that. Whatever we say it is what it is. So
yeah,
that's the beauty.
I mean, that's fair.
House. Yeah. So
yeah, it's Wobani.
Yeah, Jake's also blaming Anthony from me losing 4 points this round, so he can blame Anthony on that. So yeah, so that is one of the pods. I don't know if Pally's in here, but we'll get Pally to set those rooms up and do all that. Stan was the lucky selector this round of the maps. And I'll just read here what he told me, just because I didn't have it shared. And then I also want to shout out to Graham, who is putting together the map pack download, so you guys can check that out. But it looks like we're going all the way back to Invader League Season 4. We're going to run the Feed Garden Plaza, the Geonosis Badlands, and we're also going to run another Felucia, but this one's going to be the Graveyard, so the Ackley Graveyard. So I think I've played maybe 2 of those before, but yeah, we always want to sort of mix up the maps, and we give different people the nod to do the map pack. That way it stays real fresh. And you never kind of know. I never know until I get the information. So thanks, Stan, for that, and thanks, Graham, for putting that map pack together. So let's jump over to the seconds of the pods.
So pod number 2,
a big one.
And speaking of which, speaking of which, we got Stan, we got Dan. So we got some American, some Australian, we got some Romanian with Kokazula. Tactical Genius is in here, and so
Canadian
is
there. Yeah.
Yep, Canadian, and so is Eric.
I'm not sure where Eric is from, so
I don't either. I'm hoping it's not America, because then we can have everyone from a different nationality in here, which would be insane.
That's most excellent. So
Striker, and they're on Takodana.
Yeah, Takodana. Yeah, I think that's correct.
I do know this one. Yeah.
Striker pointing out that he will be around to stream any games, so we do have the channel. You can just throw in there looking for a streamer, if you will. So, is this on TTS? Yes, yes. Call me Captain. This is on TTS. We run this league. Like I said, this is month 6 for us, kind of running this. So, and we've had I think most people who are in chat can kind of speak to the fun they've been having, and I feel like it's fun because they keep signing up every month. So. But yeah, it's easy. You jump in and out each league round, and we do a ban each round. This round happens to be the heavies taking a ban. So, all right, and the last pod. And so what we did here, rather than have 2 pods of 3, we went all out, and it's just a pod of 6 guys. So The folks that are in the league standings here and you're looking to make some moves, you got an opportunity here. So folks that battled hard to get to top of their pod last round, you got a chance to just have either a crazy run at points here or at the very least get in a bunch of games. So rather than run it at 2 pods of 3, I just felt like 2 games in a month would have been a little bit limited. Good on you if you get all of your games in this round. But if you're looking for games and you want to finish strong in the league and kind of go into that sort of potential top 4, we figured here's the chance. So hopefully people aren't upset that they're in a pod of 6. I think it's going to be fun. We'll get some feedback on this and next league round, or next season, I should say, if people feel like a slightly larger pod gives them just more games and a higher potential to get some games in. I don't want to I don't want to saturate people's need to get like all of them in to get those points, but I figured the last round, let's finish strong, and there it is. So Jace, why don't you give us a little read of who's in this pod? So
so coming in on Polis Massa, that's a planet.
Pally had it in the league channels, so I rolled with it. So if it's not accurate, or we don't know where this came from, it's just say Pally, and it's just applicable. Whatever, it's just an excuse and a reason. So yeah,
interesting. But in this one, we got JD Nielsen, OS Dad, the Terrain Studio. So Sean is of course in here. Canadian Bear, Mr. Witty, Jake Witty in the chat, and Justice for Life who is also in the chat tonight as well.
Yeah. Hey, I'm throwing this down. I'll play 2 of you at the same time. That's how I'm gonna get my games in. It's just gonna be a 2v1, and that's how we're gonna have it throw down. So Canadian Bear, OS Dad, you guys are my first 2. It's gonna be a Royal Rumble. So you guys only get 400 points each though. So just saying.
Polis Matt, it's the asteroid that they're built. Okay, so you guys are playing on an asteroid. Gotcha.
That seems sort of fitting because I'm pretty sure we're gonna crash and burn this league pod here real hard with all of us just battling each other. So yeah. Oh, this is where Padme died. Oh, okay. Well, thanks Dan for that uplifting tidbit of information. So Stan pointing out this is gonna be a cage match. I'm looking forward. I have played. I can't remember if I played Graham. I think I played. I don't think I've played Graham in a league round. Graham, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've played. I think I've played. Did I play Jake? Can't. I have not played Justice. I've played. I played Anthony for sure, and I don't think I've played JD. So I might have 50% new, or slightly more than 50%, I guess, because I'm one of the 6. But I'm looking forward to this league round. I think it's gonna be super fun. So yeah. And we'll bring out as many stream games as possible. So Canadian Bear and I played a practice game. Cool. I played Anthony a couple practice games. So that's cool. So we might as well just count that practice game, Graham. I'm not sure who won the practice game, but we'll just count it and say that's our league game. So you can just remind me of how that went down last time. So that's that'll be fun. So Jake's saying I got some fluttercrafts that need to be stretched out. All right, Jake's bringing the flutters. Okay, fair enough. This is gonna be a good round. I think I also saw somebody trying to schedule a match right now. Settle down there, Polis Mesa, or if we don't have to get them all in tonight. So that'll be all right. Jake's saying we have not played. All right, it's perfect. Dan's probably going to beat us to us anyways. He's in the future. He's already scheduled his game. He's already playing. He's halfway through turn 2 already. So, Canadian Bear says my spiders and Magna poked his Rex. Okay, fair enough. Yep, that probably happened. So, they do that. Only the pointy end of the spider. So that's the beauty of the Ion. So, all right, folks. Well, that's the league round. Jace, we got the 3 pods, so expect action to be fast and furious. We still have a lot of games, so even though the pod number is short, there's still going to be a bunch of games played, which is super awesome. So look for that. So. All right, I think we got a bunch of stuff to rip through, and we're 45 minutes in. We got to get that round table. So where are we headed next, Jace? The news? Is that where we're headed?
Yeah, you bet. We got some news. AMG dropped us some news.
Yeah, news from the streets, as reported by Pally, but really this was reported by me because we're now filing a missing persons report for Pally because we're not quite sure where he is, but hopefully he shows up and gets the league pods made. So if he does that, we'll know that he's around. If you don't see the league pods by tomorrow, stay tuned. So, All right, Jace, what do we have? We had a drop coming out
Awesome.
of France, I think.
We did. So coming out of France was this box that was on pre-order for the crashed X-wing
I
with
think
a
it's
nice
Crash
little rebel
to
fighter.
X-wing, Crash to
Okay,
X-wing.
crash the X-wing, crash the X-wing.
Yeah. Um,
But yeah, I like the little pilot figure that it comes with.
hmm No, it's very cool. I think the terrain piece is exceptional, and we have it
Oh
sort of
yeah.
highlighted here, but it definitely has the downed ATST vibe. But what I like most about it is that we get multiple pieces of terrain.
Yes, I was looking at that, and that is amazing.
I ordered two. Just putting that out there right now. We have some great crashed X-wing from Legion terrain, so these will be great alongside them. But I do really like the small scatter bits. I think that's a really awesome feature of this. I like the stance of the X-wing. I like that it's not like too obtuse. Like it's not standing way up and kind of giving this. Well, I guess we don't really know the size of it, but it's not too high as a larger piece of terrain. And I don't mind the wing being kind of a taller. Looks like it might be over silhouette height. Looking at that, so. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I like it. Um, any thoughts, Jace, as to the pilot inclusion here?
I'm guessing because of the pilot, there's going to be some objective cards or like a scenario to play with
Scenario.
it.
Yep.
Just like the downed ATST, like it's got to have something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Striker pointing out he fears the thin bits. That's typically been
Hmm.
my fear with most things. I think though, I mean, looking at the orientation of those guns, like, would you know if they were bent or not? I mean, they look bent already. So if they
I mean, you
snap
break
off,
it off and
yeah,
you
exactly. If
break
they
it off, you
snap
add to the
off,
aesthetic.
it's probably not terrible. So as long as the fuselage itself is not overly thin, I think I'll be all right. I almost feel like, if anything, the wing, the one separate wing at the top, I almost feel like that cannon coming off there is going to just be more annoying than anything. So mine might get a little bit of a snip job. So yeah, I think just so I'm not getting like hung up on it all the time and measuring and things like that. I can see that gets hung up on a range ruler and the terrain moves or flips around or gets stuck on a sleeve or something like that. So but yeah, it looks cool. I don't know if the fig is like, I don't feel like it's in scale to this, but if it is, then that feels like a pretty big piece of terrain.
Yeah, like that's a massive piece of terrain.
If that fig's in scale, I don't know if it is. Like
Yes.
this went from. Let me jump back here. Like I was just going from the images that were shared, and I just took out all the background. But that if it's to scale, that's a pretty significant piece of terrain, which I'm okay with. Like I said, I think it's got a low enough stance that, and it looks like it's got lots of area to sort of fit and move models, which is cool. So you get a couple of these boxes, you got yourself a pretty decent start to a little scatter pile. And if you're playing some skirmish, I think if you got two of these, I think you pretty much got yourself a set of terrain for the table. So yeah, really, really cool. So I'm liking it, Jace.
Me too.
I didn't,
I think it's cool.
did you catch on any of the information, and maybe folks in chat can help us out? I didn't see like when the anticipated release for this was going to be. Like far down the track is this?
I didn't see anything for that either, so I have no idea about
Right.
when they plan to put this out.
Well, I care less about the scenario. So if this is coming out earlier in Europe, like months ahead, I might find myself getting a crashed X-wing before I get a crashed X-wing. So we'll see how that comes out. So yeah, um, yeah, I think it's cool. I like it. We didn't see this. It wasn't shared or revealed as far as I know anywhere. So if they got this in the queue, that's secretive. I wonder. I wonder if there's any other cool. Well, we know there's going to be more cool stuff, but I wonder if we'll get any other things. Like I'm just thinking, like, will we get any cool like Endor-esque terrain released when we get the incognito ATST, or will there be a new downed version, or will there be some cool Ewoks type terrain? That'd be kind of cool, like maybe little villages or huts or things like that, booby traps, all that cool stuff. So I like it. I
Oh
like it a
yeah.
lot. Okay, Jace. And let us know in chat. What do you guys think of the piece? Like, let us know if you're, thumbs up if you probably have this on your cart for ordering, pre-order or otherwise. So let us know if you're going to pick it up, and slam that thumbs up if you're going to be doing any of that. So, all right, Mando next. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, I think we're on to Mando.
Okay. Oh wait, we got a thing.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right, Jace. What do we? I know we've looked at the Din Djarin card, but why don't you kind of go back over this and highlight why you're super excited about it?
Yeah, so as Sean said, we've seen this card before. Din Djarin, he can be taken Empire and Rebels as a operative for 105 points base. Arsenal 2, so he can use 2 weapons each time he attacks. He's got Bounty, which would be the first time Rebels get it, and just adds to the Empire Bounty. Impervious, so when defending, if the attacks pool has Peer X, roll X additional defense dice, which is great with his defense roll. Independent, aim 1 and dodge 1, gets an aim and a dodge if you don't give him an order. And tactical 1, every time he performs a move, he gets an aim token. In melee, he has 2 black with lethal 1 for his vibro knife. And his Din's modified IB-94 pistol is a range 1 to 2, 2 red, 1 black, lethal 1, long shot 1, and versatile. So he can use it to shoot out of melee, which is nice. Yep. 5 wounds, 3 courage, red defense dice, surge to crit, surge to block, and a slew of upgrades that include 2 training, a comms, 2 gear, and an armament.
2 points. 1, yes, Stryker did paint a blaster to look just like this. It's in the Discord, so go check that out in the hobby section. It is exceptional. Secondly, unrelated to this, but it just made me reminded me when Jace said surge to crit. I'm not sure if you've seen on the Facebook pages, Jace, but did you see people sharing out their dice that were having
double crits?
2 crit symbols on it? I need to go through my dice because I feel like, we roll the dice app, but maybe some of those dice in the dice app have 2 crits on them too. Maybe that's been the hack the whole time. So the secret's out. I don't know. Let me know in chat, folks, if you guys have checked any of your dice and if any of you folks in there have actually come across a double crit die. Like, I guess I never have gone through my dice to check all the sides before, but after I saw that, I didn't do it because I haven't rolled dice for 2 weeks because Jace decided to go away, and that's unfortunate. But he's back.
I just dipped on everybody.
But I want to go through my dice. So before we do the Friday night fights, we'll get out our dice pools here and just check through. So that would be crazy if there was some in there. So it would be completely in the I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even think to look at the die. So I don't. Also, when you were away, Jace, I acquired a few of the sets of the clear dice too.
Ooh.
Yeah, just a friend of mine in Poland. So double critical sounds suspicious, like a crab. Okay. He has coined the phrase double critical, but I think he's referring to like rolling a dice and having 2 crit symbols at the same time. I'm referring to having 2 potential crits on the die. So increasing your critical seems really good on a die with 2 crits and a surge. So Jake ran and quickly checked his and then confirmed that none of them have it. But I just wanted to point that out. So not to derail the conversation. So all right, Jace, we got Mando. He's awesome. I think you're excited for him. I think I'm excited for him.
I am very excited for Mando.
Yeah, I just feel like the first 47 times I'm going to run him is just going to die and disappoint me, but I'm really, really going to try to get whistling birds off and kill 15 models in one turn. Like that is my goal, to crush as many souls with whistling birds as possible so I can say, I told you it's awesome. But yeah, there's that. But let's have a look at the command hand because I think there's a lot to discuss here.
Oh, exactly. Speaking of whistling birds.
Yeah.
Here's the card Sean's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Well, we saw we saw this one, right? And is this the only one we saw, or did we see 2?
I don't know if we saw at least 2. We might have seen all of them.
I don't feel like I saw I like those odds. It doesn't sound familiar. We might
have only seen the 3 and the 1.
I feel like
I'm not actually sure.
Anyway, we got all three
Yeah.
now, so it doesn't even matter what we saw before because we can see them all.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Striker says we only saw the 3. Okay, so
yeah.
the only one we had seen was Whistling Birds, which it's a 3-pip, of course, activates only Dinjarin. During his activation, he gains action. Choose up to 3 enemy units at range 1 and in line of sight. For each chosen unit, roll 1 white attack die for each minion that unit. That unit suffers 1 wound for each crit, hit, and surge rolled. So, roll paint, kill guys. They just suffer wounds. That's it. No saves, no dodges, nothing. No impervious. You slay Mandos with this. Shadow Collective Mandos, Rebel Mandos, yeah, they hate this.
Well, I just mean, just so many things, just so many things. I'm not saying you're going to see a bunch, but, Death Troopers hate this, just really everything. If you roll paint, everything's going to hate this. So 2 wound models, okay, yeah, they probably don't hate it. But if you roll a bunch of paint and you remove multiple 2 wound models, they hate that. So, yeah. That unit suffers 1 wound for each. So it's not per model, so you're not auto-saved when you have 2 wounds. It's the unit suffers them, and you would apply them like you normally would. So, that seems good.
Yeah.
And I don't even care that it's an action, to be honest. Like, there's value there. You're gonna do it's situational. You're gonna capitalize it, but. Sorry, I was just going to say.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that this doesn't have to be into like 3 full squad units. This could be into like you got a couple unit leaders or a couple like low wound models, and you're just trying to roll the dice to just have those extra wounds applied. And they could be out of sequence. They could be before they've activated. They could be after they think they're safe or whatever. There's lots of uses for this. So it's a big splash pool, great. That does a lot, great. But situationally, if you're able to remove multiple single wound activations and you think they just think they're going to be like, I got 4 dodges on my last pike guy here. Well, he might just die. He might just die. So it's really cool.
Oh, and it stacks so well because, I mean, this doesn't count as Din's attack, right? So you can use this, then attack to finish off another unit leader. You can move with Tactical 1 and use an aim on this. Because there's nothing stopping you from using his aim tokens. But, it's a great card.
Yep, fantastic. All right, what else we got?
So we have the 1-pip now. So before, we just had the write-ups from Pally on the 1 and 2-pip. But now we get to see the actual cards.
Yep.
So the 1-pip of This Is the Way is just Dinjarin again. Dinjarin gains 1 dodge token and Relentless. So standard, pretty much what we thought it was going to be. Dodge and Relentless.
Yep. It's
good.
I don't mind that they put kind of the reminder text on here too, because some of those ones that like Relentless. Okay, yep, I got it, no problem. But some of those cards that we've seen where it's like permanent gains defend 1, gains Relentless, gains, and it's like and they're all on there. Well, new players coming in, and you always have to sort of use that sort of approach that. A Relentless written on this card, Mando might be the first unit that anyone picks up. Like, or should say, it might be the first unit a person picks up coming into the game. So I don't mind this. I'm okay with not having a bunch of text. I'm a fan of command cards not being overly complicated or having a bunch of different trigger windows. So pretty straightforward. Get a dodge, get Relentless. 1-pip, all focused on him. I like it real easy.
Yep. And lastly, the 2-pip. I like those odds. Again, just Dinjarin classic. Operative only gives orders to himself, which does hurt because you lose an aim and a dodge whenever you use these, unless you can find a way to comms relay off to some other unit. But there's not many that fit in with him. But Dinjarin gains 1 aim token. After Dinjarin performs an attack, he may perform an additional attack against a different unit. He basically just gets Gunslinger. They also literally could have just given him the Gunslinger keyword on this card.
Yeah, and just jumping back real quick here. That lethal 1, long shot 1, versatile weapon going off twice at close range feels pretty good. And then I assume that this would apply to his rifle as well.
I don't think so because his rifle isn't an attack
Oh,
action,
right. Yes, that's right. It's got the
right?
specialness of the. Yeah, that's true.
And his rifle, yeah,
I think we get to that maybe. I'm not sure if that's on the upgrade one. Is that on the upgrade one? It is actually.
yeah, we have
But
the rifle one here.
we'll get there. So yeah, that's correct. It probably isn't applicable, and it would be probably too good if it was. So, but I don't think he cares about. I mean, I kind of like
No.
this gunslinger on this 2 red, 1 black, lethal, 1 long shot, 1 versatile. Like bury him in melee, and then just have 2 versatile shots coming out. A gunslinger with versatile feels pretty good too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Jake running him with Sabine, comms relay to send it to Sabine. The one problem with that, though, is what we came up with between in one of the Friday night fights where Anthony was running Cad Bane with Pikes, is you can't comms relay to them because they're a different affiliation. And Mando has that affiliation up top, so he can only, and comms relay says issue an order. So he can only issue orders to ones with that exact same affiliation on their card. So
yeah, I think his command cards are definitely going to be flavorful for him. Keep max control on him. So
Yeah.
like that's the intent of these, and I think that's what we've seen with most bounty hunters in the game. So I don't think. I think if you're bringing him, it's going to be focused on him when you have him. I think he's okay though. Maybe if he's not necessarily with an order every single turn, maybe you can get him in situations where he's feeling pretty insulated by the units that he's buried in with. So yeah, rebels don't have an affiliation though, so they are fine to order, is what he's saying. So and then it says he can send to factions. That's what Jake's saying there.
yeah, I'd have to read up on the affiliation rules. They made the Shadow Collective affiliation so complicated.
Yeah, overly complicated for no reason at all. So, I think you had Grogu up next on there, are only with a specific called out as such on the SEO. Yeah, very much, fair enough. Yeah, so what are we thinking here? We've gone over, but maybe just a recap there, just briefly.
Yeah. So we got Grogu here, the child. He can only be taken in Rebels. So if you're taking Imperial Mando, you are not taking Grogu. He is the awkward number of 17 points.
Yep.
He is 1 health. He is counterpart Din Djarin, so you can only take him with Din. You get the 1 mini. He is hunted. So when Grogu is defeated, replace his mini with an unclaimed The Asset Objective token. Grogu may never be restored, so you cannot heal him back. Each trooper unit gains Claim the Asset. At the end of the game, if an enemy unit has claimed the Asset Objective token, that unit's controlling player gains 1 victory token. So if you take Grogu and Grogu dies and your opponent gets to the spot where he dies, they get an extra VP.
Yep.
And your trade-off is, first of all, he's small. There's no text here, but what that does is he doesn't count for line of sight and for cover and all that. So if you can stick him out, keep Mando in cover, and just leave it on there. And he won't remove your cover. But you also get latent power. At the end of your activation, you may gain 1 suppression token to roll 1 red defense die. On a surge result, choose an enemy unit at range 1 of this mini. The chosen unit will gain 2 suppression and 2 immobilize units on or immobilize tokens. On a blank result, remove a wound or poison token from a friendly non-trooper droid friendly non-droid trooper unit at range 1 of this mini. And on a block, yeah.
I don't think anything happens, right? So
Nothing happens, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's. And I think for the melee, I think with small, you can still melee them, but I don't think they are used for measuring range, I think is one of the things also that comes out from them. Yeah.
You can base them for melee, but they're not used for measuring range.
Yeah.
They do still count for standbys, though. So if you take a standby with Mando, you can measure off of Grogu, but they can't measure range to him. When they're attacking, he doesn't count for line of sight. So if they can only see Grogu, they can't shoot Mando, which is helpful in keeping Grogu alive.
Right. Yeah, a lot. I think our initial impressions were, it seems like he's more of a liability than anything. But we did get the hand thing shared.
Yeah.
So let's walk through this, Jason, then maybe reevaluate potential of taking Grogu or not here.
Yeah, so Grogu gets a 2-pip command card. It does not issue any orders because you cannot select it during the command card phase. When a friendly unit at range 1 and in line of sight of Grogu, this is Grogu, not the unit, just Grogu, so Mando doesn't count for this, is declared as the defender against a ranged attack, you may discard this card from your hand. So it's just discarded, so you can just kill a card. If you do, the defending unit gains 2 dodge tokens and gains deflect during this attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. You can just give a unit a free deflect.
Well, I'm just thinking about this in the sense that, like, what if a unit just, I don't know, just eats that large fire support shot, and your opponent's like, oh yeah, you got to make 11 saves, and then you just drop this off. So now you're able to kind of trigger those 2 dodge tokens, and then seemingly have deflect. So if you're rolling a pile of dice and you're rolling up with some surge tokens, that's gonna flick some wounds back, I think, eh?
Yeah. I mean, you got a unit you want to keep alive, just give them 2 dodges and give them deflect and be like, "Oh, I rolled surges on my saves. Oh no."
Yeah, I mean it just and maybe just a 2 dodge tokens is great, and maybe the pool doesn't need to be massive, but I'm just thinking that there's a world sometimes where the overkill into you kind of feels like there's nothing I can really do about it. But maybe if that unit's just going out, maybe you try to go down swinging kind of thing, right? So
And it's crazy too, because deflect gives you surge on defense, right? So you can take like a red save hero or something that rebels have. I'm failing to think of some at the moment, right? If they've got something that's got red saves, that's not like a Luke. But you just give them a free surge to block on that too.
Yeah, I mean the free surge to block for sure. Yeah, that's probably where it ultimately pays off, right? Where a non-surging, non-deflect red dice unit, could benefit for sure. Call Me Captain says, hey, why not just give it to some speeders? Says unit, doesn't say trooper unit. That feels pretty good. So you do have to use it before the attack dice are rolled, since it's when you declare. Yeah, I'm just saying that if I'm going to eat a fire support shot, and there's a strong likelihood that you're rolling, whatever, 18 dice into me, and I'm just indicating if it's going to be potentially a throwaway at that point, if they roll anything half decent, why not try to go down swinging with that? So
giving surge block to K2SO. There you go.
So yeah, I don't think I think if the pool's got a high potential to yield high amount of wounds, and I'm going out in some respects, if I just think like it's I got no chance, maybe they're shooting in to eliminate an activation, or maybe they're going in and trying to take you out before your heavy weapon gets to trigger or something like that. You can do all kinds of things. You don't even need to burn the dodges if you just want to try for those extra I guess you have to burn a dodge, but trying for those extra defense dice. So it'll be interesting. So I don't know if this, to be honest, Jace, though, makes me think I'm gonna take Grogu still. Like,
it's just giving your opponent the chance of an extra victory point is tough.
Yeah. Call Me Captain said it'll be interesting to see how this stacks with other command cards, since you don't play it in the face. There's nothing that says you can't, play 2 command cards. You are holding this as a 2-pip spot, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are taking it as a command card, not played in the command phase, is a 2-pip. And I don't know, is there a little bit of if played too early in a game, Jace, is there a world where, let's say you played a 2-pip and then you also played this? Is there a world where you kind of telegraph a little bit too much in terms of what potential you have for control later in a game? Like, anytime you're burning through command cards quicker, I think the whole premise of playing a standing orders is that you're holding and you have that mystery, that mystique, right? Where you have more potential to kind of go, anywhere from a 3-pip to a 1-pip as the game progresses. And in this particular turn, there is a chance where you're actually burning 2 cards at the same time. And if played too early, you might be telegraphing a bit too much.
Yeah, if you take this card, you basically you have to play standing orders turn 1. Like, if you don't play standing orders turn 1, you're going to play later in the game, and later in the game is worse than turn 1. The other thing too, though, is because of this card, and because this is like such a good card, if you take Grogu, everyone knows you're going to have this card, because there's not much reason to really take Grogu without this card. Mm-hmm. So you really telegraph that you're down a 2-pip, right? Which really makes guessing your priority a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think I'm on the fence of not Grogu, but I do think this card makes the conversation around him more interesting. So, but you guys got roundtable to tell us what you're thinking about all this stuff. So
exactly.
All right, Jace. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'll take Grogu in a Friday night fight, watch him get hunted, killed, Anthony take the objective, and then I'll just rage about how bad he is.
Oh, don't forget, he's also probably has double bounty in there, and he claimed those 2 points too. So,
exactly.
So now he's up. Now he's going to win a KPS 6-0. So claiming the asset, a double bounty, and all 3 KPs. So then we'll have content for the following show where we can rage about how, how undercost or overcosted and underpowered Grogu is. So. And then you can always you can always do that hand thing of yourself and just flip them the bird. So there's that thing. So all right, well, let's have a look at sorry, I'm back to host mode. Sorry, Jace, where are we going next? Oh, command cards, great. Upgrade cards, great.
Upgrade cards, we got some upgrade cards. So we got to see Mando's jetpack, 15 points, gear slot, increase your maximum speed by 1, so he gets to go up to speed 3, and you gain jump 2. Which is nice.
Really, really like that jump pack for 15
I like that.
points. We've said before, staple it on Mando. He's base cost 105? Yeah. So
105.
He's 120 points because that's just too good.
The other thing I really like is the Beskar Spear, which is an armament slot, so it competes against his rifle, so you can only take one of them.
Yeah.
But it's melee.
Attack with this guy twice.
Exactly. It is 2 red and a black. Oh my goodness. I can't tell colors. You gain duelist, so when you perform a melee attack, if you spend an aim, you get pierce 1, and then while defending against a melee attack, if you spend a dodge token, you gain immune pierce. And he's already impervious, so you have impervious if you get a dodge from... he gets a dodge from independent.
Independent, yeah.
So, you spend it there, you're immune pierce, which is good. It's pretty good. 15 points, so not bad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. He already has the range, like that short range weapon. Obviously, this is going to be for melee. So if you're kind of I'm okay with sort of, I guess the close range. The rifle is that infinite range, that rifle?
It's infinite range, yeah.
And so you're kind of setting up like a close range din versus a potential, super long range din. Man, that Beskar Spear and the gun at short range, you got pretty reliable dice. So,
and you've got Arsenal too, so you can use both every turn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have a real close range din there. So as well, Call Me Captain reminding us that he does have tactical. So let's just grab those.
Tactical's awesome on him. Yeah. So the other new one is Din's Flame Projector. Melee to range 1 red die. It expends, so you can only use it once. Blast, so it ignores cover. Spray, so you add the die for each mini that in the unit you're attacking. That is in line of sight, which is the big thing. Yep. And it's also suppressive, takes a gear slot, and is 8 points. It's a flamethrower. It's like every other flamethrower we got that expends.
Yeah.
I think I could fill the slot a bit better.
Yeah, it just, the reliability of the flamethrowers always feels good, and it's just, I don't know if that's going to be I just don't know if that's what you're doing with them or if you're doing other things, right? So Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it's cost effective, but for sure.
Yeah.
But, and then the Amban Rifle we've seen, I can cover that one for you. Give you a break there
You
for
bet.
it. It's immobilized 2, suppressive 3 black. Double action. So not to be confused with double crit, but double action. And if you're not engaged, perform a speed 1 move, then choose an enemy unit in line of sight and roll 1 red attack die. And if the result is a hit or a crit, and if you got 2 crits on there, they don't count any extra there. The chosen unit suffers 1 wound and gains 1 suppression token. So now, Jace, on this right here, if it's suppressive and you suffer a wound and gains a suppression, are you getting a suppression token +2?
That's...
I can't remember how that was deciphered there.
No, so you'd get 2. You'd get a total of 2. So you get 1 from the text at the bottom of the card.
Yep.
And then suppressive is when you like attack an enemy unit, right?
Which sorry, you're doubling up. Yeah, I was reading suppressive and then
you give them 1.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking it. Yeah.
So they basically have the suppressive keyword and then the text at the bottom to make it suppressive.
Yeah, I guess it could have just read suppressive. Like, it feels like that's just already intuitive with suppressive, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just 2 aims though.
Who's
sorry, 2 suppression.
Yeah, two suppression. Yeah, fair enough. Wouldn't it Bobster's asking, wouldn't it be 1 aim since you spend an aim for lethal which triggers duelist? I'm not sure. Oh, maybe that was referring to Canadian Bear's piece up there. So
that would be if they're in the same attack pool. They'd have to be in the same attack pool, but his gun has to shoot out. So you need an aim for both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for lethal and duelist.
Yeah, the lethal triggers off the gun. So
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks, Michael. I missed that part. Yeah, the suppressive keyword doesn't trigger when using the double action since it's not an attack. I keep forgetting that's not an attack. That's gonna trip me up.
And the immobilized
for a while. So yeah.
I keep forgetting that he can use this in melee. That it's not just the one shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep remembering that because I'll probably trip myself up every single time I see that. So it's not an attack, which is the real key there. So, yep, that is fair. So, okay, well, I like all of those things. I'm not 100% sure how best to run Mando, and I don't think we need to because we haven't played him. So, but I do think I'm probably gonna start without a Grogu attached just to. I don't need to have the liability of playing him wrong and giving up a victory point when I first start rolling him out on the table. So that is that's not something I'm trying to do. So we'll see what kind. I just want to get Whistling Birds off. Just let me get that off the first time, and then he can die, and I'll consider it successful as long as I roll lots of paint. So there's that.
Yeah. Can you go back to Din's unit card for 1 second?
I can. Yep.
Does his knife does have lethal? Yeah. So you can spend a single aim. If you spend the aim to trigger lethal,
and you combine the pools, would that work?
Does that give you the Pierce 1 from that? That's a good rules question, right? Because if you spend an aim, you get Pierce 1 on the spear, right? So does spending the aim for lethal work for getting, and then that gives you Pierce 2 on that melee attack? I really do not know. That is a AMG help question.
Well, if the spear is in, if you have Arsenal 2 and you combine the pools,
yes, so you're combining them.
Yeah, and you spend the aim. Like I think that would work.
Yeah, I think spending the aim for lethal would trigger the duelist.
Yeah. I think you're right that we'll seek clarification before we make a definitive statement. We aren't the rules. Folks,
yeah.
But I feel like that pool would be formed, and then you would spend the aim to trigger the keyword.
Mm-hmm. And then duelist triggers after that, which it should. So yeah, it should work.
Yep, it would be. I mean, a few people are agreeing that it would be Pierce 2. So they happen at different timing. One is a roll attack, and the other is a modified dice. While performing the attack, spend. One is spent during the roll attack dice step, and one is spent during the modified attack dice step.
Yeah, because like Duelist normally triggers off of spending that, but we've never had a unit that's had Duelist and Lethal at the same time.
So a few people. So it seems to be non-consensus in chat, and we're
Yeah.
not going to speculate that we have the answer. So, but if the timing windows are different, then I guess that makes sense that they'd be separate. And if they can happen at the same time, then probably one. But if they're two different timing windows, then maybe that is. Maybe it's just overly complex and doesn't need to be that. But we'll get clarification, I'm sure, because I'm sure lots of people have asked, and that's where we're at. But anyway, why don't you tell us all about it? Jace, you ready to slide down? We'll do the round table.
You bet.
All right.
Yeah, we got some round table coming up.
Yeah, we'll do that for a few minutes and then end off. I think we got a couple of sponsors here to thank along the way. So I'll hit these two, Jace, because you got the others. So I want to thank our folks, really Aaron at Back to Basics. By the way, if you guys have been tracking the wall project, the glass for the wall is like en route, I believe. I don't have a parcel update in front of me, but it is in transit. It was on its way several days ago. I'm gonna just click here as I'm going through here, and I'll give you guys an update exactly where it is. Looks like it is in Pasadena, so we'll see how long it takes to get here, but hopefully have it by the weekend. So want to thank Aaron for that. Also want to thank Dice Time. I did receive some cards in the mail. Some of the alt art cards, courtesy of Ben and Paul over at Dice Time, and Bob as well. And so we'll have those to share and do some giveaways. So stay tuned for that. They're really, really cool. We got a whole bunch to give away. So we'll add that to our piles. So Jace, if you're ready, I'm going to hit the roundtable intro and get into that. So
You betcha.
all right, here we go. Hey, it's us again. Jace is going to set the stage for roundtable tonight. He's got the statements here, and
You bet.
we went a little Mando themed.
We did. So as you can tell, this is the way. And warm or cold. I believe Sean's got an amazing drop for this one that we
I think
should
we played
definitely be
it, but I'll
hitting.
play it again.
Of course.
No.
That's the wrong one.
That's the amazing drop for that, but I did have
There
a
we
warm and
go.
cold one. I think it's here.
Yeah.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
But I actually prefer the IG unit shooting everyone because it's one of my absolute
Oh,
favorite scenes from
love
from
that
the
scene.
Mandalorian series. So spoiler if you didn't see it, but IG just goes crazy, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop the link in there so people can jump in. So all right, warm or cold? What
Yes.
else we got, Jace?
We got Weapons Are My Religion, and I like those odds. Definitely come in, tell us what odds you love about Mando and Grogu, and are you going to play them? Are you taking them? Are you taking them Rebels? Are you taking them Empire? Are you taking them Warm? Are you taking them Cold?
What weapons are you taking on your Mando? There's
Exactly.
lots of
What
options there.
way are you taking your Mandos? Come talk Mando and Grogu with us, and just tell us how insane his rifle is, or if your name's Ryan, about how trash the entire unit is.
I also feel like this is the time for I can start getting ripping on Pod 1 here. So warm or cold.
Yeah.
How do you want our game to play out? Pod 1, whatever planet we're on, or sorry, whatever asteroid we're on, Polis Mesa. I'm shouting out all you guys in my Pod 1. I almost dare someone
Pally,
from Pod 1 to jump in here just to
Pally had
tell me how.
the disrespect.
Yeah.
Such the disrespect for you guys that he put you on an asteroid, not a planet.
Actually, I set the stage for so it was me. It was my fault. I set us on the asteroid. It's my bad. So, all right, Jake's gonna come in. What pod's Jake in? Is Jake in my pod? Oh, Jake's in my pod.
Jake is in your pod.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, Dan's coming in. Dan's coming in to talk some sauce here. So let me get Dan in, coming from the future. All right, let me set this up here. Get Dan in here. All right, we got Dan in. Oh, we're getting people in.
Oh, there he is.
We're getting people in. Oh,
Hello, fellas.
Hey, go ahead. I gotta get
Hello.
Andrew in here. Rip it away, Dan. Dan, you get the table here.
Well, I can't run Din in my faction because I'm JAR purist and a bit of Shadow Collective, but I'm still going to get him because I think the model's nice and it'll be fun to paint up. hopefully we get a Mandalorian theme force so you can run Boba and Din and all these sorts of Mandos with the new season of Mando coming out. I'd
Yeah,
also
that'd be
like
cool.
to preface I'm going to lose every single round in the next round of the league because I'm running the 5-0 cursed.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Oh, yep, there you go.
I'm going to
I
call that
almost
right
won
now.
with
It's
that
going to
one.
be
I was so
5-0
close to
cursed for
taking
the
that
win.
mall.
Let me jump over here, Dan. Let me see what pod you got here. Is this all right? So you got Stan, Kokazula, you got Tactical Genius, and you got Eric. Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to check that. So well, you got four
Yeah.
games to perfect them.
Yeah.
And no more than that. So
I mean, I've played like 4 games with them on tables and lost every single one of them. So,
it can only
although
get better from here.
highlight is Arc Troopers beating the living stuffing out of Count Dooku was actually quite fun. People seem to underestimate that 2 dice in melee is actually a black and a white in melee is actually surprisingly good and don't expect it. And
It can
yeah.
be, yeah, for sure. For sure.
but no. I think I'm gonna run definitely if I ever run Din, it's gonna be Beskar Spear. Like in melee, that's a nice dice pool. He's almost a Jedi at that point in terms of he's got like
Yeah.
he's actually in melee he's almost got better dice than Commander Luke. If you give him the jetpack, you've got a real nice melee threat. You'll have 2 aims by the time you get in there because you've got tactical. So even if you need 2 separate aims to trigger off lethal and duelist, you're going to be looking at on average probably about 4 hits. PS2, that's not lackluster.
Yep.
That's not lackluster at all.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's hear from Andrew. Seems that we are popular here in the queue here tonight. So we'll link out again when we're full. Right now we got Dan and Andrew in here, so we'll hear from these guys. Then we'll kindly boot them out, and then we'll allow the rebuttals to come in. So go ahead, stick around with us, Dan, though, while Andrew shares his bit because you might have something to say back to Andrew. So he's a bit of a loose cannon, this Andrew guy. You never know what he's going to drop on us. So.
Yep, and I teach lessons about infiltrating on friends. Throwback to the last show there. So the first thing I wanted to mention was that this flamethrower is the second in the line of the comedy of printing errors by AMG here. Because if my memory serves me right, in the mini extravaganza, that the flamethrower did not have the expend icon on it.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but I wasn't sure if my memory was as sharp, and but I'm glad you pointed it out because I also I was like, was that the one? I couldn't remember if it was on them or if it was on him or another one. But I mean, good that they corrected that. The real question is it
what
packed?
will be like in the expansion exactly?
Yeah. Is it packed? Yeah, that will be the real question. But like I said, I think, and we've kind of come to expect. I'm not suggesting that they're in any way being frivolous with these designs, but we've come to almost have a new eye for that. I've certainly, based on the critical on the dice there, I'm gonna be, hey, you mind if I just look at your dice there real quick to see if you have 2 crits on them, because I did not know that was a thing. So
me neither. That's crazy. That is legit. That's a real thing. That is crazy. That is some bad QA quality assurance there if it's 2 crits on a die.
And I don't even know if the people, and it seemed like I was reading kind of the thread because I was intrigued by it. And it seemed like several people had known or have come across this. So I don't know if we're talking early FFG dice, or if we're talking expansion dice packs, or we're talking the newer of the sets, or we're talking the essentials kit. I don't know what ones people have got these in. So let's just hope there's not a lot in the wilds. That's all. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am looking forward to this expansion. I'm actually looking forward to this whole wave, especially after the Kashyyyk wave gave a lot of new toys to the Clone Wars faction. It's nice to see the Rebels get some stuff, new toys to play with as well.
Right. Either of you have thoughts on that X-wing drop?
I like terrain pieces. I'm going to be curious to see the pilot model's really nice. it'll be interesting to see if how because I mean I think that I personally haven't bought any of their terrain pieces except for the C3PO one. Sorry, my cat wants to be in the
All
stream
good.
as well.
We are pet
Uh,
friendly, so
um, but no, it looks nice. I'll be curious to see, like, is it going to be like some of their other ones where it comes with extra like deployment cards and things like that, and objective cards, because that would be huge if it does, because that would really shake up
yeah.
the meta a lot if they, even if it's just two new objective and deployment and condition cards, like even just two new ones would blow out options so much, because I feel like in tournament player there's a lot of people are running the same
A
objectives.
lot of stagnation, I guess, is how I would kind of determine.
People have sort of identified what's best and what's easiest to get the most points on, or whatever, and you sort of say, oh yeah, what are you running? Oh, key positions, of course, intercept the transmissions, of course, hostage exchange, like they're just almost, you can almost count them off and see them in most games, so it's interesting. But
Well, and I think
that's my hope.
no, and
That's
I
my
think
hope, though.
to your point there, I think one of the real strategies for red players right now are, let me just take a red player list, but let me make sure that it's good at the most vanilla and generic of the deployments and conditions and objectives, because I'm likely to run into those in somebody's deck, and then as red player, I'm just going to try to just cancel down to the one that I'm most good at. It's almost like taking a blue player deck for the couple specifics might be good, but with red player last cancellation and the ability to cancel 2 in any one slot, you can almost manipulate down to back to vanilla objective for yourself. So I think that's, kind of shout out to red player strategy there. So
I mean, that's what I would like out of it. The terrain's nice regardless. Even if it's just a couple of the more of those more story-driven little missions, like the R2D2 C3PO one and the capture the Bamka, they're fun. Like, you play them once, you're never going to play them again, most likely, but they're still fun to play at least the one-off time. They're a lot of fun.
Right.
So
no, fair. All right, Andrew. Last point on any one of these topics, and then we'll say goodbye temporarily to Dan and Andrew, and then I think we got a few folks we're pinging to come in and chat. So
Yeah. So my thoughts on the talk on the X expansion also. My thoughts. My first thought was it's going to be like this escape pod or down ATST. Then also, just recently talking to mind, perhaps that this is maybe an alternate rebel officer sculpt to play on the echo-based defenders thing, because this is a Hoth. But the picture shows it's a Hoth-based terrain, so maybe there'll be a rebel officer thing in there for it. Maybe
the rebel players are just jealous of Becky that the Empire had, so they had their version. So they just want, this is Rebecca. She is a rebel pilot. So maybe there's that. So I mean, I'm all for more sculpts. And you know what? Another thing I was thinking about too, just looking at it, I was like, hey, maybe a cool alternative hostage model. If you're playing a rebel list and you're playing hostage, let me grab a relative related hostage here. So options. Oh,
rather
Karen,
than a Clone Wars hostage.
It's Karen. So yeah, my bad. So
I had friends at my I had friends at my league, my local play group yesterday. They one guy had alternate hostages. He had like a slave Leia and a Mara Jade for Imperial and Rebel hostage exchange.
Yep, cool. Very, very cool.
Well, yeah, because the hostages are Clone Wars specific, because it's Newt Gunray and
it's actually from
Senator Chichu, I think her name is, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just another possible use, and that's kind of a cool thought I just had. So I'm sure 100 other people had that thought, but when I saw it, I was like, cool hostage. It's themed to rebels, and it kind of goes alongside maybe a theme that you got going on with the Blizzard Force or something, or with the Echo based defenders or something like that. So there's options there. So, all right, fellas, if you don't mind, I appreciate you coming on. We'll give you.
Can I say one last thing?
Oh yeah,
Sorry?
absolutely, you can. Absolutely, yeah.
The new Essentials kit disappointed me immensely.
Okay.
I was looking
tell.
forward. I was looking forward to it having all of the deployment and objective cards, so that new players weren't forced to then pick up vital assets and the other one, because they're pretty scant on the ground. They're hard to find nowadays.
Right.
But no, it only comes with the generic ones, and I thought that was very, very disappointing.
Okay.
The quality of the tools is nice. I love the new tools.
That's what I like.
Not
about
dissing
it.
that.
Yeah.
Not dissing that, but I was just very disappointed that it didn't come with all of the objective and deployment cards for new players, because then that way you can just jump in and get all of the objective cards. No, they now have to buy that, then buy other stuff. Anyway, that's a little, yeah.
No worries.
That disappointed me.
Fair
Grr.
point. Grr,
AMG suck. Rah. AMG suck. Rah.
Right, we all have time to prepare, because that rant occurred in the future and we're not there yet. So we still have time to rectify the situation. So awesome. All right, guys, we'll have a great evening, and good luck in the next round, Dan. All right.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, Andrew.
Bye.
Yep.
All right, we got 2 free spots in the queue here. There's the link. We'll drop that in. Get a few more folks in here, and then we'll wrap up the show for the evening. I think maybe Graham maybe said he was gonna drop in here. What do we have for chat? Jake's coming in. Oh, there's Graham. All right, we're full again. Dang it, Jace comes in here and suddenly we're all popular and everyone wants to be on the show with the cool kid. And yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right, well, Jake's in. And let me go drop in. Let me drop in Graham here. All right, take it away, Jake. What do you got for us?
Well, first off, is I'm hopefully going to take you down this month, this round.
You're just starting right there. All right, you just started right there.
Oh yeah,
it's fine.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm going to start right there. I'm bringing the Flutter crafts. You know, bringing actually I think Michael's list.
Okay. Yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed getting trounced by that list several times. So yeah, looking forward to this. Yep.
But for Mando, I'm actually going to run him and Sabine in Invader League.
Okay.
And I'm running the spear on him because as much as the auto wound is nice, or the potential for auto wound, I should say, is nice with the rifle. I feel like I would play him way too aggressive, and with Whistling Birds, you want him up in there anyways.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a no-brainer to take the spear.
Okay. And then you taking Jetpack, no-brainer as well.
Oh yeah, I actually have him completely kitted out.
Right.
Every single slot is actually packed.
I think I saw somewhere up in the chat you had posted. Maybe was that you that posted your kit loadout?
Possibly.
Oh no, that was Justice that posted. Yeah, he had relay, spear, jetpack, on there. So.
Yeah, I have the relay, spear, jetpack, up close and personal, situational awareness, flamethrower.
No, for sure. I'm just shout out Dan. I can't put you in the chat just because the queue is. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I actually can get you in here, Dan. I can get you in. I might even be able to get you on the screen here. All right, go ahead. Continue. What do you got? What do you got for us, Graham? You also coming into Trash Talk, or what's going on here?
Yeah, this is a pod one party in here.
All right, I'm dropping Dan in the middle here.
It looks like it's going to be a cheap,
I'm back in.
like, force in there. Because I've got double snail tanks coming in.
You got double snail tanks coming in hot. Yeah, okay. Well, fair enough. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Well, I got my list. I actually have to send it to Pally, but I'll be perfectly honest with you boys. I'm just gonna run stock standard, all the cool tools that I can run that I couldn't run last round, and maybe some things that start with an M and end with GAR. So there's those things. So yeah, you guys said I can't play with
and
tanks.
spiders.
That's the cool tools that I couldn't run this round, so I thought that was also intuitive with that little drop there. So I see you, Graham. I see you, Jake. I got you. Yep. Fluttercrafts be fluttering for about one turn, and then they be crashing. That's how that's gonna go down. So Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah. Graham's got snails. Everyone.
Yeah,
Seems...
I should rub my 12-act double land speeder with ions and everything.
You know what they say, Jake? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But instead you chose flutters.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
Yeah, there's that.
Yep, I chose flutters. I decided to have fun for myself.
Flutters are fun.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw. We're gonna have some fun. That's for sure. No
Yeah.
question about that. So no question. So, Graham, what do you guys feel? Or even Jake, what are you guys feeling about that terrain? The terrain pack.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it looks great. I'm curious how, like, building wise when it comes to it, because if it's going to be more like the ATST where it's kind of built into the base, or is it going to be more like the pod where it's just kind of nestled in there?
Yeah. It will be interesting if people get multiple and it is kind of like quite mobile in terms of like, hey, can I just take this like relatively intact, well destroyed, but relatively intact X-wing piece and go make my own base for it, or is half the X-wing going to be part of the molded base? That will be that time will tell on that for sure. So yeah. Striker trash talking Magna Guards in chat, but not. Is this the internet, my friend? If you want to talk trash, you gotta come on the screen and talk trash. So.
Oh, I hate Magna Guards.
I mean,
I hate them too. Can't stand them.
My worst record is against droids. Like, I have an abysmal record against droids. Everything else is fairly nice. It's just droids.
Well, I didn't get a chance to do, because the host didn't. He missed the most important This Week in Legion, but I actually lost to Tyler. We played a super tight game. There's lots to share, but let me point this out. There was 13 units of B1s in the game when we started, and there was 3 B1 models on the table when we finished.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we didn't, and at one turn I brought 4 units effectively down to a single unit leader, and on payload, unit leaders are king, and I could not move my payload. I had, I think, nearly double the wounds at the end of the game, but he had a Magna Guard, I had 7 left, he had Dooku, I had a TAC droid, he had an AAT, I had an AAT, and he had 3 B1s, and that was all we had left in the game when we finished. It was just bloody. Very, very bloody, but Magnas were critical in the game for sure. So yeah, droids be fun. So yep.
Yeah, I've actually had a game similar to that not too long ago. I had Boba and Cad as my only 2 models on the table.
And you won box grab probably with it.
It was actually Intercept.
Okay. And
I actually won 6-1.
Okay, nice. Just a single. Sometimes a single model's all you need. So here's a
especially
question.
when it's Boba and Cad.
For sure. Yeah. Here's a question to pose for you guys, since we kind of got into it. Simple yes or no, and then depending on your answer, I'll grill you for your intel. But Grogu, yeah or no?
Maybe.
Okay. Now we have to get into the Ryan type category where we start explaining the thumbs up, thumbs down. There's no maybes. It's just a yes or a no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to play him first.
I think I only take him if I'm sitting in the back and purposely sniping with the rifle. Otherwise, I think it's too much of a risk.
Graham, let me get you a ladder so you can climb off that fence that you're straddling right now. It's really, really tall fence. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to bring him with up.
Yeah.
Okay. Dan's a yup. Okay, Dan, why are you a yup?
Because Grogu's cute.
I mean, that's sound logic. I can't argue with that.
There you go.
We got a soundbite.
Do I need another reason?
Soundbite. That's why you bring Grogu. There's the magic.
He's
hands.
cute. Like
Yeah,
he's
fair.
cute, and you can just like, and if your opponent kills him, you can just shame him and be like, man, you just killed a baby. You are a despicable human being, and just like absolutely trash them. Make them feel bad about killing Grogu. You know, like fucking why not?
You just
So
trigger
as a
the
demoralizing
self-conscious.
word to it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that's the self-conscious keyword that you just trigger there. So that's immediately
Yeah.
followed by demoralization. So yeah.
Purely for that reason, I will run Grogu.
Yeah. That's,
You know,
But
I
sort of,
kind of want to bring with Han and
It-
Chewie.
okay. What do you?
you're
what
not
do you-
bringing
what's the
Grogu
combo
for the.
there?
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Jake.
You
What's the combo there with
Oh.
Han, Chewie, Grogu?
Oh, I want to bring Din with Han and Chewie,
Okay.
and maybe get Chewie to have the amazing deflect turn.
Mm. Okay.
I don't know.
Want to recreate Gar?
Yes. Right.
He's no
Yes.
Obi-Wan.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So Dan, you were Graham was the most long drawn out maybe, and then Jake, what were you at? Sorry.
It was a maybe, but I want to try it. Because if he can bring Chewie to basically take off some wounds off of Mando, take some heat off of him, I don't think you'll lose Grogu as often as you would think.
I guess that is fair. Like you have to kill Mando down to one wound remaining before you kill Grogu. But
And he'll always have a dodge because of independent. So
yeah,
And he's
One
stable
thing I
card
don't-
anyway, so he
but I've seen
sends it
Boba
off.
get one shot before, so
dice be dice.
Isn't that right, Jake?
Cad Bane.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Graham's learned an important lesson in this league because I've watched him play several times. Don't leave anyone who's a bounty hunter unattended next to an objective ever.
yeah.
Yes.
It took him 2 games to learn, but I think it's ingrained now. So, yes. Yep.
One thing I would like to say about Din, sorry, I think the Amban Rifle is a trap. So on average, if you just use the Amban Rifle every turn, you're killing, on average, you're going to kill 5 models. Now, that could be really great, or that could be really trash, depending on how you target, blah, 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 blah. But I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to use this and snipe out a Jedi because they can't deflect. And it's just like, at this point, you're just wasting a 125-point model just saddling around the back because it takes both of his actions. He gets a little move, blah, blah, blah. I think it's a trap. I think the Amban Rifle, if it's one of those things that people will be like, oh, it's an automatic wound, so yeah, I'm going to go after Mandos and all these high-value targets, but it's still only one model. And over the game, you're going to kill, unless you roll perfect, you're going to kill 5 models. On average, you'll kill 5 models. Tell me the odds tells me that. But I don't think it's as good as people think. I'd take the Beskar spear every day of the week.
All right. Well, given time and since Dan set the perfect segue to have us go out of here, we're on the last point. Going around the round table here. I like those odds. Yay or nay, based on what Dan said. Amban Rifle. You like just killing 5 things in the game and take that like good odds. Or is Dan correct and you're against the odds there? Let's start with. Oh, sorry. Jace is the host. Jace, you get to start. You get to say who's. I'm not good at backseat driving. So
I am a tough maybe. Now that I've seen the spear, I'm honestly leaning more towards like just give me that melee Mando, whistling bird, spear, short range gun, his knife. Just let me get him in there.
Yeah, rip up inside in melee, man. Just rip
Yeah,
it up.
Up close and personal too. Just keep him alive.
We've got enough ranged bounty hunters.
Mhm.
Like, you got Bosk, you got Boba, you got Cad. Let's have that fun melee Mando just ripping shit up.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Jake? You like those odds?
Yeah,
On the
I'm
5?
contemplating. I'm contemplating adding tenacity to Mando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
3 red,
spicy.
3 black.
it's a nice dice ball.
Possible Pierce 2.
Do it twice on that one turn.
Yeah. Oh.
Ish.
Now that you're saying that, though,
Because it has to be a different unit.
that might actually be the reason to take Grogu, to entice people to punch Mando, to trigger tenacity, and Grogu is the key activator for that. So you have to find a bunch of baby punchers out there so you can trigger to be more offensive. I'm just rolling with what Dan said here about the baby thing, to trigger the Mando. So yeah, I mean, I'm not endorsing any of that. In fact, I'm complete anti that. But I'm just saying the tenacity does start triggering that. So yeah.
Just want to go in there and rip that frog out of the baby's mouth, you know?
Yeah, it's just you got to get people. But honestly, I think if you take Grogu, this is my point about Grogu. I think if you take Grogu, getting to the odds thing, I think if you take Grogu, then Mando becomes a focal point. If he becomes a focal point, I think that you need to be prepared to get the most out of him in the shortest duration of time. If you are going to get the most out of him in the shortest duration of time, you're likely to achieve that by being more up close and personal with all the gear of the spear and getting in the melee and having the whistling birds go off, as opposed to taking the Grogu, being quite passive, sitting back and trying to get off that plink damage. Because if for any reason you get isolated or perhaps get pressured, I don't know if you've got a big enough return on investment, and if you end up losing him and giving up a victory point, you may not have got enough back on the MOV side of things, or you may not have been able to pressure an objective early. So I do think you were correct, and the 5 wounds seems good, but I do think there is going to be kind of lulled into a trap. And if that 5 wounds never nets you the bounty at the end, the 5 wounds probably just becomes a nothing in the end, right? It's like, guy, you've hit my Jedi, but for the last couple of wounds, I'm going to go hide him.
Yeah.
So
you can't spike it. You can't spike a model off the field like you can with Bosk or Boba.
Right. No, I like
But
that.
with that spear and tenacity, hell, that's almost 7 dice in melee, I think. No, 6. Sorry, my bad. I miscounted there.
It's
Still, that's
good. And reliable.
It's very
dice,
good.
Right? Yeah, reliable. Dice
Yeah,
with
3 red,
conversion,
3
so,
black. Oof.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
With some
and
modifiers.
possible Pierce 2. Like you're gonna delete 3 models probably an attack.
Comfortably.
It would be fun for one turn having the spear and the flame projector and getting an aim to do duelist. A duelist flamethrower would just be kind of fun.
Oh, nice.
Some people just want to watch the world burn, and that guy's name's Graham. So
Oh, you dead yet? Stabs with spear. You dead yet? You dead yet?
B1.
Yeah, exactly.
Mando just seems like he would just be a B1 muncher at some point with the whistling birds going off. Like, I just want to be the B1 player, and Mando goes off, and I just want to antagonize my opponent, and be like, "What? You only killed 7 B1s? That's the best you could do." Yeah.
Let's be real here. That's not how you antagonize them, Sean. You just roll crits on your B1s.
Fair. I will say this. I mean, it was kind of a little bit of karma, but Tyler shot one of my B1 units, and I had 4 B1s, and he hit me for 7. And so I decided to roll saves, and I only I rolled. I think he hit me for 8. I rolled 4 saves, but there was enough damage over that to kill the B1s. I'm like, so I rolled like nearly perfect with B1s and still died. It was crazy. Our game had so many like huge dice pools, and we were not nice to each other in the entire thing. But I couldn't fall. I felt like I was getting a little karma on the dice there. So yeah, very, very good. Awesome. Well, we'll probably end off there. That was a good roundtable. Thanks for jumping in, guys, and previous folks, and Dan for coming back in, and Dan's cat for making an appearance, and and Dan for pointing out how dang cute Grogu is, and all those good things. And I feel like somewhere along the way we've made a "Don't Hurt Baby" T-shirt reference, so we'll get those crafted up as well. So yeah. I can just see Dan at the table with the the front sort of baby holster with the Grogu and just "Don't hurt my baby." just just playing it.
But use it as a body shield.
Exactly.
Human shield. Well,
Yeah.
alien shield, I guess. But yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, don't remove my models. My
A
baby
baby
doesn't
meat
like
shield.
that. So
Oh god, no! What you have to do is you bring a plushie Grogu to each battle that you have with Grogu, and every time they want to attack Mando, you make them punch the Grogu.
it's an evolution of this chat. We're just back to punching the baby Grogu. So yeah. So yeah.
I mean, like just to make them feel as bad as possible.
I mean, the show set the precedent for how that actually looks, right? So
Exactly.
it was established first there. So if we've learned one thing from Disney,
Disney Plus condones punching babies.
I mean, I didn't see it, but fair enough. And with that, demonetization. So moving along.
Yep.
So,
Yay!
luckily, we're not making any dollars off this. So awesome.
Hey, I didn't swear this time.
That's perfectly fine. So awesome. Well, guys, good luck in your league. Graham and Jake, not you, but Dan, good luck. We'll see you guys on the other side of that. Jace is going to rejoin us in the league, hopefully, for when we get going in November, so we start season 2. And hopefully we got Shadow Collective in, so people can stop asking if they're legal. As soon as they come out of beta, we'll get them in. So, Jake, you mentioned that you are able to play unreleased units. Are you guys playing out of the beta for Invader, or?
I think so.
Okay.
Anything that has been revealed. So even Commander Cody, Waxer, Boyle, Boba's command cards, the IG units, Mando, all of it's legal.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, why would you play Cody without any of his command cards?
Kinda.
I
You
don't
want
know.
that direct vehicle? Doesn't he have like direct vehicle or something? You want to give that saber tank that order. That's why.
I mean, and fire supporting into his range 4 rifle and surge to crit is nice, but yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
I guess if you have nothing better to bring, so yeah. Don't forget, folks. You guys can go rate Jace's hosting skills on Yelp, and you can rate them right now in chat. So we'll let you do that. So how did you?
10 out of 5. No
There
Ryan.
we go.
10 out of 5.
Yeah. Ryan did show up tonight. We're good. He has a question. Shut up.
Okay then. Striker getting a little spicy here at the end of the night. So all right.
Hey, it's midday for me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming in, and slam that thumbs up or thumbs down button. We'll directly translate that to how well Jace did, and we'll be back on Friday. Jace will be playing. I'll be doing one of the two things, either playing and or hosting. We don't have lists, but we'll see what we can craft up for the game. Maybe something spicy and new. So. Maybe we should figure out what Graham's running for the league and run his snail tank list so we can see how good it isn't.
And this is how to beat
I
Graham
believe in you,
first,
Graham.
everybody.
I believe in you, Graham.
All I'm going to do, even though I don't have a bounty hunter in my list, I'm just going to put it next to the objective, and Graham will not see it. Like, he just will not try to shoot it. It'll be there. It'll be oblivious. So, yeah.
Or it'll live every shot.
Yeah, I also can't wait for Graham to try to parallel park a snail tank on the key position. So that'll be awesome. So yeah, so start practicing, my friend. Start practicing. So awesome. Well, it sounds like we're gonna have a lot of vehicles for sure. We got flutters, snails. I'm not bringing any.
I'm doomed.
I'm just gonna bring things that make vehicles make sad noises. So there's that. So. Yeah. Okay. Well, I look forward to all of that, and we'll keep you guys updated. You guys will hear about all our games, and I'm sure these guys will come back in and tell you how that all went, and if they win, we'll suddenly have bad connection and you won't hear from them again. So there's that. So. All right, guys. Well, have a good night. Jace, thanks for doing the hosting duties tonight, covering me off for a bit. That's great, and we'll catch you guys on Friday. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks. Good night, guys.
All right, Jace. We'll send him out. Any last words for these folks? That was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
I felt like we needed to catch up and give people a little bit of length in that episode since since we hadn't heard from any voice other than mine. So Timothy referring to "It's a Trap," that's just applicable to everything, so it doesn't even need a qualifier. Yeah, that's just everything.
Exactly.
So, all right, well, be thinking about a list, Jace, unless you got one already for Friday, and if you do, well, then keep it a secret. And we'll find out if Anthony's coming out or if we got any fresh blood for the pool, and if not, then Jace and I'll do a self cast, and I will commit something to. I'll wait till Jace submits the list, and I'll make an absolute counter to it, and then we'll play a game. So just kidding. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, Jace. Welcome back home, and don't forget to play with that lightsaber a lot.
You bet.
And we'll catch you guys next week. All right. Cheers.
See ya.